With Mike London and Jillian Whiting, this is National 9 News.
Bodies removed from Hostel as Childers prepares for tonight's memorial service.
Police warn locals to check hiding places for drifter Robert Long.
George Spate's surprise release of 4 hostages. Good evening.
Good evening.
The people of Childers are beginning to arrive for tonight's memorial service, led by the Governor-General, Sir William Dean. The man police want to talk to in relation to the backpacker tragedy, Robert Paul Long, has not been found. Police today revised the nationalities of the 15 dead or missing. The Australian count was adjusted to 4 and includes twin sisters from Western Australia, aged in their early 20s.
3 days after the inferno, the bodies of the young backpackers were lowered from the blackened second floor where they met their deaths.
It's taking approximately somewhere between an hour and a half to 2 hours to remove each of the bodies.
It's a painstaking task. Police specialists carefully remove the bodies and potential evidence, while witnesses are being re-interviewed, taking investigators to the scene. And across the country outside Perth, flowers for the family of twin girls who are missing. It's believed they perished in the fire.
Well, they had just finished work over there and they were actually planning on heading back. They're very close to each other. They've got a real love for life and they have a great time wherever they go.
Away from the hostel, police are slowly building a profile of the man at the centre of their investigations, Robert Paul Long, a loner who was looking for attention.
Just overly friendly, you know, trying to get in with everybody. Always a sad story to tell. Always wanted to borrow money.
In the hours before the fire, a wheelie bin stuffed with cushions was found ablaze in the hostel lounge. That night, Long was drinking at the hostel with 2 English backpackers. He gave them a chilling warning.
He told them to leave their window open and make sure they get to the fire escape. And they didn't believe him.
String up waste bollocks.
Police have been inundated with calls of possible sightings of Robert Long. On the morning of the fire, a local woman told them she spotted him walking towards Bundaberg, trying to hitch a ride.
She only noticed him because he was sort of running, stopping, sticking his thumb out, running again.
There was no comment from Robert Long's father in Wollongong today.
He could be anywhere.
In their hunt, police appealed to farmers to check sheds.
Any areas where there might be a building or structure where someone might be able to sleep or stay.
Backpackers overwhelmed by the town's response to their plight.
Guardian angels, not shiny knights, call them what you want. Absolutely fantastic.
And a final message from the owners of the Palace Backpackers Hostel.
Our thoughts and prayers are with those who have lost friends and loved ones. We wish to express our heartfelt thoughts to those backpackers who survived.
In Childers, Karl Stefanovic, National 9 News.
Church leaders in Childers have spoken of the need for survivors and the local community to heal after the tragedy. At services this morning, they told of the pain that could unfold for years to come.
In the constant search for answers, the people of Childers this morning turned to the town's churches. They came looking for words of comfort and found them.
It was a very meaningful service in that people have been needing an opportunity just to vent out some of that inner grief.
Messages of strength and hope too for the backpackers who've lived through the tragedy but are only just realising the extent of it.
The tragedy will affect the world for a long while. We need to rally together just as that town has done.
And the expressions of grief are far from over. Childers Main Street has been closed for tonight's memorial, which will be attended by some victims' families. Tomorrow has been designated a state day of mourning.
The people here are grieving along with the folk who have been affected and their families who are coming and all those who have been involved.
The population of Childers and the district is expected to attend tonight's service with contributions from the Prime Minister, the Premier and the Governor-General. Sir William Dean will personally comfort grieving families and survivors, just like he did when so many young Australians lost their lives in the Swiss canyoning tragedy. The backpackers are planning their own tributes for the service.
A lot of people need to say goodbye. It's very important that we be able to express it everyone be able to grieve, and as a lot of the backpackers need to move on.
Melanie Wendt joins us now from Childers. Melanie, I assume the town's population is beginning to swell.
That's right, Mike. They've closed the road behind me. The community hall where the memorial service is going to be held is just 100 metres or so from here. It's another hour and a half before the service starts, but I'm told that the hall is already full, and there's large TV screens being set up outside the hall so that the crowd outside will be able to see it as well. But it's a very sad time.
Melanie, do we know if any of the victims' relatives have arrived yet?
We've been told that a couple of the victims' families are here and will be attending the service. There will be, of course, a lot of others arriving tomorrow. There were a lot that wanted to be here for tonight's service but couldn't get here in time, so I imagine there'll be other services planned for them later in the week. The Governor-General has arrived. He has done a couple of laps past the Palace Backpackers Hostel, and the Prime Minister is expected here shortly.
Thanks, Mel. Melanie Wendt in Childers.